last time out in our player comparison video, we dedicated it to goalkeepers, and this time around, we're looking at two of the best holding midfielders in the last decade in the Premier League. And this one is a little more interesting because one of the players involved is still actively playing, or both players are still actively playing, but one of them is still actively playing, in the Premier League, and is at the peak of his powers at the moment, even though he's sidelined and whatnot. But yeah, we are talking about Kante, N'Golo Kante, and Rodri. Both players need no introduction, especially when it comes to Premier League football. And it's hard to point out any other holding midfielder that comes close to these two guys in the past decade. So let me start with the difficult question for Victor. Who was the better player in that position? Now when we are considering these two players, we are considering them at the peak of their powers. Yeah, so in your opinion, prime Kante and prime Rodri, who do you think was the better player and why?
Rodri. He contributes more at both ends of the pitch, and I loved Kante, and I don't know anyone who didn't. But Rodri is just better at more things than Kante. It obviously has to do a lot with the way City play, their dominance of possession. But yeah, Rodri is just a more complete player. He can play as a six, he can play box to box, pure central, can probably do a decent job playing as a center back for half a season or so. So that's why I'm going with Rodri.
Yeah, Mark, do you agree with that?
Probably yes, but I'd say they're pretty close to each other.
Okay, fair enough. And this one's for you, Max. Who do you think was more impactful, for their club?
Yeah, so we also what happened with City when Rodri got injured, right? And this probably says into the him, but overall, I'd say that Kante was the key player in both Leicester and when Leicester won the Premier League, obviously, and Chelsea winning Premier League and Champions League. He was also, I'd say, the best player at team and a key player to structure a team. So I'd say Rodri was a bit more impactful for, especially just for City, but Kante did it with two different teams, so probably I has to pick Kante.
Yeah. If I'm just going to pick one, if I'm going to pick one player in this, it's a very, very tight one. But my ideology is that before Rodri came around, City were winning the Premier League multiple times. But
Yeah.
Kante did the impossible with Leicester City. So, and if you take away Rodri from City, even the times they won the Premier League, I mean, there's still a chance that they would still play well. But if you take away Kante from Leicester City's winning squad, they become almost average. So for me, Kante slightly edges it in this question, just slightly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm sorry to interject here, but
Sure, sure.
if you look at the impact, Rodri, he joined as a world-class addition to an already world-class squad. Kante, he cost Leicester what, under 1 million, I think.
Yeah.
He turned world-class in a team that was never supposed to reach those heights.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the best explanation. And still with you, Victor, I think you've explained this question a bit, but it'd be good to touch more on it. Who do you think is or was more versatile?
Yeah, as I said for the first question, it's got to be Rodri. Like Kante was amazing as the Makelele role, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And like there are just so many similarities there, whether you look at stature, style of play, etc. But it has to be Rodri. He's just more of an engine, whether defending or attacking. Everything goes through him. He's the fulcrum. So I definitely see him as the more versatile of the two.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. And starting with you, Max, which of these players would you rather have in your team as a manager?
To be honest, I still don't know who to pick, so uh, probably Rodri at the moment, because he's a proven star at the moment, while Kante is playing in Saudi for a long time already.
No, we're considering both players at the peak of their powers, not
Oh,
what they
okay.
are doing currently. Yeah, we are talking about
Yeah,
prime
I'd say
Kante.
Rodri is at peak at the moment. So, but at the modern football, I personally still go with Rodri at his peak because we know what to expect him now.
Okay. Victor, in your opinion, who would you rather have as a manager?
This is always the toughest question you ask us on this show. You know, every single week,
Yeah,
and every week I'm torn between the two choices, and it's no different this time. You know, I always love Conte's humility, his down to earthness, if I may, but along with obviously his quality and how much he reminded me of Makelele. As I said, he was one
yeah.
of my favorite defensive midfielders ever. But I think I need to go with Rodri as a manager. Like dedication is something that both these players have probably more than 99% of footballers out there, and that's something any manager should appreciate. But what clinches it for me as a manager to pick Rodri is again the versatility, and it's also those extra leadership qualities. That's what makes me want to pick Rodri for this one. It feels like Kante was always a bit more understated, a bit more of a silent type. Rodri is the one who you can count on getting your message across on the pitch. And sure, it's not a huge difference for this question because it never is for me, but I have to go with Rodri.
Yeah, fair enough. And just on a final note, now taking prime Kante, the Kante that we saw, at Leicester City, the title-winning squad, and taking Rodri at the peak of his powers, probably, last season, where City impressed and whatnot, and Rodri also impressed for club and country. Which players' qualities, suit uh, current football right now? Taking prime Kante into account, if you were to bring him back to this current times, who do you think will
Yeah,
excel more?
I I think consistency is the name of the game for both, but I still need to go with Rodri here. He's been doing this at the top level of the game for a little bit longer than Kante, I believe, and his understanding of the position and what is asked of him is second to none. In terms of suitability, I'm going with Rodri, but I still think it all hinges on how he returns from this ACL injury. We know he's on his way back. He's rejoining team training as we speak with Man City. I just hope he doesn't lose a step, but it's quite rare for a player after a torn ACL to not lose a step.
Yeah. Max, do you agree?
Speaking of that, actually, it's kind of interesting that Kante was called for France a year ago or so. So he's not playing at his peak and top divisions for like 3 years or so, and he still calls for France national team, which is always a favorite. So it says a lot about his skills even now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but speaking about modern football, it's more about, as we said, versatile for a player. So he's not playing like only destroying opponent's attack. He is also throwing the ball in attack as Rodri does. So probably to pick Rodri as well.
Yeah, I think I think I agree with you guys on that one. So I think Rodri Rodri has more facets to his game, and he can almost do the same things that Kante can do as well. So he's more of an extra asset in that regard. So, and to top it all, I mean, Rodri has a Ballon d'Or. Whether he deserved it or not remains to be seen. But he has the Ballon d'Or to his name from that position, which is something that I don't think another player in his position will do for a very long time. I don't think it will happen for a very
Yeah,
long time.
we
So
said
yeah,
about
that
it after the Modric did. So probably it can happen again.
no Modric and Rodri are quite different in profiles. It's easier for a player who is more for a midfielder who is more attacking minded, to still get the nod over a player who is just defensive minded over the holding midfielder. So I think it's very difficult for the Rodris. It's just like Declan Rice going on to win it. It's difficult. It's difficult to imagine. So yeah. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how football evolves, anyways. But yeah, for the sake of this video, it seems like Rodri got the nod. Both players were top players, and they are still top players. But Rodri seems like the one who has more to his game. But we would like to hear what our viewers out there think. Prime Kante and Prime Rodri, who was the better holding midfielder? Who is more versatile? Who would you rather have in your team as a manager? And who is more suited for modern day football? We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to see what you think in the comment section below.